I've been meaning to make this video for a long time now. So when I initially got sick with HLH, I was down bad. I had lost my job because I was in the hospital for a long time. I needed to start emergency chemotherapy and all the stuff. I was suffering, both physically and financially. And because of that, there were certain things that I couldn't accomplish, like buying groceries. The one thing that helped me out was 211. That was a number that I called to help me find out where I needed to go to get certain resources. So for me, my biggest issue when I got sick, which is what started this whole, thing with the kidney disease and stuff like that, was food. That most importantly is what I needed, right? So when you call 211, they're going to ask you a series of questions.
Thank you for calling 211 Sacramento, your first stop in finding social, health, and disaster services information in the Sacramento County area. Para español, por favor, presione el número 3. Our specialists will assist you shortly, or if you have online access, you can find all of our resources online at www.211sacramento.org.
To ascertain what services that you need. So 211 gives you information about like crisis hotlines if you're having a mental health crisis. If you are on the verge of eviction, you can find resources about that. They can help you out with a lot of different things. For me, my thing was food. I didn't have any money to buy groceries, and I was just out. I didn't have anything. So when I called 211, they asked me about what city I lived in, my area code, all of this stuff. What am I calling them about? And they gave me a list of resources that literally would hand out free food to people that needed it. Most of these organizations were churches in my nearby area, which I would have never known about had I not called 211. And come to find out, there were several churches that had volunteers that would take donations, and then they would give those donations to the public or the people that were in need. Now, I had nothing at the time. I had no food, no nothing. So to take me through until my Social Security disability kicked in, which they were denying me a year. So for an entire year, I was struggling to pay rent, struggling with everything. But somehow it came across my desk about 211. This is a number, Carl, that you can call and they can help you with, if it is within their power to help you, they can. And that's what I needed them for. And for a long time, they carried me and my family through with getting food that we, under normal circumstances, would not have been able to afford. Now, I want to stress this. This is not something that you should be abusing just to get free stuff. It should be reserved for when you absolutely need it. Now, I can't control what anybody does. Just me giving this information out to the public could lend itself to that. But it should only be used under the most severe circumstances where you absolutely have nothing and you need something. For me, it was food. With somebody else, it could be something different. But they'll ask you a series of questions with the initial phone call to see if there is, in fact, something that they can help you with. But it is a resource that you can use if you find yourself in a hardship. And it opened my eyes to all of these different resources that I never really paid attention to when I was healthy that are all around me all the time. And there's just a ton of resources like this. But a lot of those resources that can be used, just you need to be pointed in the right direction to know where to go. So 211 is an incredible resource that you can use in times of hardship. Like if you get sick or you end up in the hospital, you lose your job, you have no money to buy any groceries, that's a resource that you can use.